In this video, I'm going to help you with some tips to show you how you can play tug of war with your puppy to avoid injuries in your dog's adult years. So welcome, I'm Tanya Costa, and I am a canine rehab therapist doing this for over 20 years. And over the years, I've seen so many dogs with injuries that I think could be preventable. So let's first talk about some of the things that you may have heard. That playing tug of war with your dog, especially a puppy, puts them on a path towards aggression. So playing tug of war with your dog will not cause your dog to become aggressive. And there are many dog training videos out there that will debunk this theory. Most importantly, I want to focus on ways that you can play tug of war with your dog and prevent injuries to the neck and spine in the later years. There are a number of rules that you need to follow if you're going to play tug of war. And number one comes from the dog training side, but you need to make sure that your dog knows how to drop it, i.e., you need to learn how to end the game for your dog. And again, there are many dog training videos on this subject, so I encourage you to watch those. So another rule for playing tug of war is breed specific. Certain breeds should never play tug of war. For example, Doberman Pinschers, French Bulldogs, probably Bernese Mountain Dogs. These are dogs that I see in my practice that come in and they are susceptible to neck or spine injuries to the disc, or also known as intervertebral disc disease. If you look at this video on my two border collies, they're playing. You see how they hold the toy. One kind of pulls forward, then the other puts on the brakes, and then the other one pulls backwards. And there's this nice gentle rocking forward and back. You don't see them shaking their head and doing crazy stuff like that. So when we watch this video, we need to mimic how they would normally be playing with each other. So what this means is when you play tug with your puppy, you want their head at a neutral point. So i.e. not too high up, not too high down, not too low down. And you definitely don't want to be shaking the toy side to side. The reason for this, I'm going to pull out Skippy here. This is Skippy. And Skippy here, if we look at the head position and then we look in the between the vertebrae, and FYI, I'm going to make this the Reader's Digest version of canine anatomy. But between each of the vertebrae are these soft disc things. And if we look at how they are meant to move like this, if we start, I mean, obviously they can move their head up and down, but if we start doing some really, really aggressive movements, over time, we can put strain on these discs, and that can lead to some neck issues, or depending on how they play, it can also lead to issues lower down in the spine. I promised you that this would be a short anatomy lesson. What can happen if we stress out these vertebrae is that over time down the road, it can lead to arthritis or disc disease. In this video, you can see I'm doing it up and down. You can see that I'm going up and down, and this was just for you guys to see, but his feet leave the ground. And I remember way back when I had my first dog 35 plus years ago, I thought it was cool, and I would let her grab the toy and I would actually swing her around off the ground with all 4 feet off the ground. Luckily, she never had any neck issues. She actually lived to 17. But to be fair, I only played it once in a while. And if you've watched a lot of my other videos, you know, or you're getting a sense now, that a lot of these injuries are caused by repetitive strain. So if you do it once or twice, not going to be an issue. The other thing to consider is the type of toy you use. So with your young puppy, they still have their baby teeth, and you don't want to be using something like a stick or anything, because that can pull out their teeth sooner than they are ready. But I usually recommend rope type toys, or some of the rubber toys, or I don't know why, but Sam, he loves, the more ripped up a toy is, the more he wants to play tug with it. So I would recommend using those. But always, always, always supervise and make sure, don't leave that toy around, because I'm going through this right now with Sam, is he likes to chew things and eat them, and yeah, we see them on the other side, if you know what I mean. And the other reason is when they're older, if you're playing with something that's abrasive, it will wear down their canines. My second dog that I had, he played a lot of with a tennis ball. And what happened when he got older is his canine teeth were about half the size that they should have been, because he had worn them down over the years, chewing on or holding the felt part of the tennis ball in his mouth for so many years. So I hope that helps, and please enjoy your puppy, play tug, and just know that you have some rules here to look back on. So stay tuned while I help you keep your dog injury-free. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at this video up here, and you can learn other ways to keep your puppy injury-free.